Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Izam Hendra and this is my lesson plan. The name of teacher is Muhammad Izam Hendra. The subject is English. The grade is 10. Topic is let's visit Niagara Falls. Text type, descriptive text, skills, writing and reading. Time allocation 5-10 minutes. Okay. The core competence is a default core competence that has provided by the government, and for the basic competence I use the 3-8 to compare social function, text structure and linguistic elements of some oral and written descriptive text by give and ask information about tourist spot, famous historical building, short and simple and accordance with the context of its use. And for the indicator, to identify structure of descriptive text and to describe descriptive text. This they identify the structure and is to describe the descriptive text. And the second one is the 4-4 descriptive text. 4-4-1 to comprehend the means of social function, text structure and linguistic elements of some oral and written descriptive text about tourist spot, famous historical building, short and simple contextually. And 4-4-2 to compose short and simple oral and written descriptive text about tourist spot and famous historical building with regard to the social function, text structures and linguistic elements correctly and in context. And for the indicator, to create descriptive text that is interesting and precise and to apply the right structure of descriptive text on their writing is to simply make and is the application of the structure. The learning objective, the student will be able to analyze descriptive text that has been prepared in a good, grammar and meaningful way. The student will be able to create descriptive text from some provided information about a specific place, so they can make a descriptive text from some information, and just from some information. And for the last one, the student will be able to write their own descriptive text. They can write the descriptive text without any information from zero. And for attitude, values, focus, religious, nationalist, integrity, and mutual cooperation. I don't add the mandiri. Learning material, regular learning materials, fact, starting, responding, unexpected, unexpected, social function. And the concept, social function, descriptive text is a text which to describe a person, things, a place, and any certain condition in particular. Descriptive text portrays the image which the writer checks and transfers to the reader. And this is the text that I will use as example on the class. The floating market. The principal generic structure identification contains about the introduction of person, place, animal or object will be described. Here, this is the identification. The description contains a description of something, such as blah 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 blah. By describe it, features, form, color, or anything related to what the writer described. Here. This part is the description. Dominant language feature an object. This one. Adjective, action verb, and use simple present tense. The procedure: write short descriptive text about hometown, tourist spot. Learning materials for remedial. Descriptive texts that are good, interesting, and precise by using and asking for information regarding products, and surveys according to the context of their use. Lanjut. Descriptive text that are good, interesting, and precise by using and asking for information regarding products and service according to the context of their use. Learning material for enrichment, social function, graphic structure, and language features, and descriptive text both written and oral. Learning method, approach, scientific approach, and learning model is cooperative learning, because the student will do in pair and have to cooperate with their friends. Learning media in focus LCD projector, picture, laptop, and textbook. Learning source buku dari Kementerian Pendidikan, picture from medium.com, pariwisata Kalsel, model learning and model or learning materials, internet, jagoan bahasa Inggris, englishsiana.com, on another relevant source. Okay, and the learning activity. The opening activity about 2 minutes. Orientation, doing the opening by reciting salam and praying. To start the lesson, checking the present. To reflection as the reflection of the discipline. Preparing the student to follow the process of learning. Learning descriptive text about tourist spot and historical building. Upper section, connecting the learning materials in professor's level, reminding the prerequisite material by asking the student, asking the question related to the lesson that will be done. Motivation, giving the description of the benefits to learn the material, like if this material time project has done well and correctly, the student will be able to explain the descriptive text and of course able to make it. Selling the learning objective to the student, asking questions. Giving reference, telling the student about materials that will be discussed today, telling the core competence, basic competence, indicator, and minimum graduation criteria of the meeting, dividing learning group or pair, explaining mechanism of the implementation of learning experience based on the learning steps. Kegiatan inti, main activity, 20 minutes, teaching and learning activities, literation activities, stimulation. Students are given motivation or stimulation to focus attention on the topic by doing some way viewing, display relevant pictures, photo, videos, observing, showing pictures of floating market in sitting, reading in their own home before the teaching learning activities. Students are asked to read about descriptive text about tourist place and historical building. Listening, students are asked to listen to the material given by the teacher which is related to descriptive text on chapter 5, page 69. Write simple descriptive text, high order thinking. Problem statement, critical thinking. The teacher gives students the opportunity to identify as many questions as possible related to the picture presented and will be answered through learning activities. For example, like what is descriptive text, what is the purpose of descriptive text, and how to make a good descriptive text. And the answer is like the meaning of descriptive text is the descriptive text is for the steps to make good descriptive text are data collection, collaboration, and critical thinking. Students gather relevant information to answer the questions that have been identified through the activity, observing the object, interviewing the informant, collecting the information, reading other sources besides textbook, like how to make structured descriptive text that is good, interesting, and precise. Representing activities, the most important activities. Learning do the following activities. Students work in pairs to analyze the structure, language feature, and important information on the text that has been given by the teacher. And the student write a descriptive text about a tourist place on their hometown with partners. If the student have different hometown, cost one of them. Kalau di SMA biasa mungkin tidak akan terjadi seperti ini. Discussing, reviewing, exchange information about how to make a good descriptive text. Bla 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 panjang. By being data processing, critical thinking. Student intergroup discuss processing the observational data in a way, discussing about how to identify descriptive text about tourist spot, how to describe descriptive text about tourist spot, and how to make a simple descriptive text that are interesting and precise, that have been collected or summarized in the various activities. Processing information that has been collected from the result of previous activities meeting, as well as the result of the observing activities and the activity of gathering information that is ongoing with the help of questions on the worksheet. Student during the performance in making a simple descriptive text. Verification, critical thinking. Learners discuss the result of their observation and verify the result of their observation with data or theory in the source book through activities, adding breadth and depth to process information that is looking for solutions from various sources that have been different opinions to develop honesty, conscience, discipline, obeying the rules, hard work, the ability to apply procedures, and the ability of inductive and deductive thinking in proving collect their simple descriptive text. Include with the student and teacher discuss together about the simple descriptive text that have been made by the student. I think I will choose one of the descriptive text, the most interesting one, and discuss it with the student. Generalization communication. Students are discussing to summarize, deliver the result of discussion in form of conclusion based on the result of the analysis verbally in writing, or intermediate to develop an attitude of honesty, conscientiousness, tolerance, ability to think systematically, express opinion politely. Present the result of the classical group discussion about simple descriptive texts that are interesting and precise. Express opinion on presentation made and responded to by the group presenting. Ask about presentation and other students are given the opportunity to answer them. Summarize the important points that emerged in new learning activities carried out in the form of a written observation report about simple descriptive texts that are interesting and precise. Answering questions contained in the student handbook or worksheet that has been provided. Ask questions about things that are not understood or the teacher throws a few questions to students. Complete the competence test contained in the student handbook or on the worksheet that has been provided individually to check student mastery of the subject matter. And for the closing activity, like in summary with the guidance of the teacher, scheduling homework, scheduling project that must be studied at the next meeting, outside school hour and or at home. The teacher checking student work completed immediately. Students who have completed the project correctly are initiated and give a ranking number for the project assessment. Give award to groups that are fair, that have a good performance and collaboration. For assessment, remedial and enrichment. Assessment technique, affective, spiritual and social, observation, journal, like religious, nationality, integrity, mutual cooperation, the scores, the total scores, the affective scores, the total score divided by 4, the score code. And for the cognitive, writing test, psychomotor performance, from this learning process, the students are able to write down the interesting and structured descriptive text. And this is the rubric of writing assessment: readability, grammatical, vocabulary, clarity of meaning. And for the reading, reading, I will use this question, this 7 question, and this is the answer key. For one correct answer, answer. So we will get 14 points and 2 addition points for correct all of question, like 14 and by 7 plus 2 and 2 will be 100. Knocked by Headmaster Nami Ahminam and the teacher Muhammad Izamandra on Banjarmasin, May 2020. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.